and gentlemen. Welcome to the panel of the role of the art market in the development of the Central European art scene. My name is Dyszlewicz and I work for Szum Magazyn. This is a Polish quarterly on contemporary art in Poland, and I'm very honored to moderate this discussion. I hope you will enjoy the talk, and the outcome of the panel will bring some new ideas and practical solutions to artists, galleries, curators, policymakers, and others. But firstly, I would like to thank the ArtVilnius' 2016 staff, Mrs. Diana Stomiene, the ArtVilnius director, Sonata Baliuckaite, the art project manager, Rasa Barczaite, and Karolina Tomkiewicz from the communication department. Secondly, I would like to introduce our distinguished panelists. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation and taking part in the talk. So I will begin with Mr. Gaweł Kownacki from VAIT Gallery from Krakow, who is artist, curator, producer, and the head of the foundation and the gallery, where he curates exhibitions and the collection of the foundation. He is also devoted to work with young artists. We have also Magdalena Kownacka, who is also a co-founder of the VAIT Gallery in Krakow. She is curator, art historian, cultural producer, and she's also active in production field of theater, film, and radio. They are both based in Krakow, Poland. The next is Agnieszka Reisacher, who is art historian, critic, and curator, but what is most important, since 2005, she runs the gallery Local 30 in Warsaw. She also edits books on contemporary Polish artists like Natalia LL or Ewa Zarzycka. We have also guests from Lithuanian. We have Mr. Arvydas Žalpys from Meno's Parkas gallery. He is based in Kaunas, and since 1997 he has been director of the Lithuanian Artists Association Art Gallery, Meno Parkas, and he initiated various international collaborations with artists in Europe. And the last but not least is Mrs. Agnė Narušytė, who is an academic professor, critic, curator, and researcher interested in contemporary photography. Between 1997 and 2009, Mrs. Narušytė created a collection of modern photography at the Lithuanian Art Museum. She published books on history of Lithuanian photography, and currently she is associated professor at the Vilnius Art Academy and the editor of the cultural weekly Septynios Meno. So this is our distinguished panelists. Thank you once again for coming. And our plan for the discussion is following. I will give you a very short introduction on the topic. After the introduction, which outlines the general themes of the talk, there will be three main questions, which I will ask, and our panelists will give thoughts regarding each of them. Thirdly, I hope that we will have time at the end to have a question and answer session. As you know, the title of this panel is A New Center, the role of the art market in the development of the Central European art scene. So obviously, two main themes here are the art market as an economic issue which is already multi-layered, multi-dimensional phenomenon. Here we deal with the private sector, institutions, with the regulations, free market economy, corporations, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, we have the theme of the development of the art scene, which is also somehow related to the idea of the development as an economical issue, regarding to the activities of the galleries, art collectors, corporate sponsorship, etc. Thirdly, connecting these two issues to each other in the context of the Central Europe leads us to think and rethink the relationship between the local and the global. Please state and articulate your opinion and position towards the current situation of the art market in the Central Europe, focusing on Poland. What are the advantages and disadvantages, lacks, positive sides from your personal, professional standpoint?
Thank you. Before we go to difficult topics, I would like to say I would thank a lot to be invited here, and I would like to say that it's fantastic to be here on ArtVilnius', and we really appreciate being here. But about art market in our Central European position, I don't know. I think that it's only consequence that we have to still work on it, because in several meetings I get a feeling that that is, of course, all of us, we know that it's not that developed, and as in Western Europe we don't have this tradition of art collecting and so on. It's going in a different way, but I think that it's a challenge actually, and in our local, from our local point of view in Krakow, that we are trying to step by step with this years, just work on this field is challenging, and it's totally I got a feeling different than the schemas or rules that I see in the Western Europe. So this is the topic, how to develop it in our way, in our local situation, and it's challenging. Us definitely, Magda.
I think I will say more from my very personal experience. We were laughing even today that we are the people who should say something about the art market, as we are kind of a dreamers. So we established a foundation like 10 years ago, trying to pretend that everything works as it should be. Yeah? And all those 10 years we were closing and opening the same gallery a few times, behaving a bit like Phoenix, like burning ourselves and then being reborn again. It is not that the art market doesn't exist. There are few collectors in Poland who buy contemporary art, but most people are rather interested in 20th century art, but let's say less experimental than the art that we work with.
I will present the situation also from my personal point of view. I am at this art scene since 2005, and for me it's still very problematic to talk about art market in Poland. It exists, yes, but it's so weak that in fact I think we should better talk about some collectors than the art market like an organism. So we have, in fact, we have one international serious collector, and then we have a group of the collectors which are very ambitious, they have a big knowledge and they are trying to collect international art, but they are very few and they don't have this financial power, but they have the big potential. and they are trying sometimes to do the collections of photography, like thematic collections. And there is also another group of people which are buying art, and probably in a few years they will somehow do from these collections this stock of art, of artworks. They will create a real collection with some topic, but at the same time they could stop at this level and have a stock of artworks without, in the big chaos, without any reflection. I think in Poland the big lack on our small art market is the lack of the foundations or non-governmental organizations which could collect art. It practically doesn't exist, and I think they could have a great role, because they could work with the curators, they could do the good exhibitions, and could use the collection to show something, to talk about something, to tell about something.
I think that was a big success of Polish art scene. This institutional collecting, which was a big, in fact, a big gap during the time of the communism. We didn't have this consecutive collecting of contemporary artworks. In fact, I think that now I think we probably will be in the moment, in the time of the regress, because I think we will still have private collectors, but private collectors, they are not buying, or very rarely buying videos or photography. And that was the role of national and regional collections, to buy, video, to buy some ambitious works. We cannot, rely on private collectors. We cannot attend that they will buy videos. They are buying sometimes good works, but more formal. They buy what they like, simply.
Yeah. Hello. Thanks for inviting to this discussion, and I really see that mostly we have the same situation and the same problems here in Lithuania and Poland as well. And I think it depends not only that we are just the neighbors, but maybe just based on this our 20-25 years history what we had, and some other things, and yeah, the problems maybe we will have the same for some upcoming years as well. Myself, I have the first experience with the West in 1991, when I just after our independence, together with some German curators, I was curating the first big show of Lithuanian, Latvian and Estonian applied art. But why I just remember this, I just want to tell that during this first show there was sold a lot of artworks, and so it was my, just really my first meeting with the buyers, or just with collectors, and then I saw how it works. What is the conditions when you are selling work? What it is the contract, and how they look to the works. There was after we had some more projects, and what I saw that, for example, it was just beginning in Germany that the mainly collectors, you know, all the time when they are buying the works, they have advisors who's just, you know, helping for them and talking about that. Yeah, you really need to buy this piece, or you need to buy this, but it means the decision is always to buy or not is done not only by the collector, but he have closed the art critic also. And I had some knowledge, so in 1997 when we opened the gallery, so it was really a bit easier for me because my small lessons, what I got in West, it works for me. But, and I was thinking that the situation in Lithuania will come more faster, I mean the better market situation, but it's pity, but still, you know, 25 years after independence, and we really have the same what you just mentioned.
Talks and so on. In Krakow, we have this problem of communicating between galleries and institutions. So we are not like one force. And that is why I think we have more problems to solve somehow. But I would like to refer to this idea of showing art in the Western context first and coming back, because it annoys me quite a lot every time. Like, why we need somehow justification for ourselves and to say that something is a good art or not. Why we need this external experts for that. But it works, as you mentioned. We have in Poland few galleries who are doing really well in the Western art market. But somehow I think because of those two things, so the Western justification and the domination of institutions, our scene is getting quite flat, because we don't have this internal forces that shows up from time to time becoming a power. And we still have to work on this positive snobism somehow. So like collecting art is something which makes you special. It's not the new car that you have and you can talk with your friend that you have the newest version of something. I'm not really fond of cars, so I probably cannot mention the best one.
Rolls Royce.
Okay, thanks. But you have a new painting or photography of somebody. And I think in Poland we cannot do that without the support of public institutions as well, and governors, local or central. And I think everywhere is this PR and money for some promotions of things and all this. I wouldn't like to call it propaganda, but anyway, like promoting some ideas. Yeah, why not to promote ideas of contemporary art and collecting contemporary art? But somebody, it's about politics. But without being involved in politics, actually, we will not do anything positive and in like longer terms. Yeah, and actually, who cares? Yeah, like for example, when you look at theater, it works pretty well. I was involved in production of few performances, and I was really able to see how the promotion of that works, how much money is spent for promoting that, for that all magazines, not only our like local, or not maybe local, but devoted to our scene, as Szum is, which is a great magazine, but actually only we are reading that, yeah?
We are trying to extend the field.
Of course, but it works like that. So I think it's very necessary to make like a group that can really provoke such situation. And if you compare it to film, for example, this Polish institution for films, which is PiS, but I don't know how to translate it into English, but they managed to make a law solution that is taking some part of money from distribution of films to make new films. And maybe we can find a solution to also gather some kind of money for like art production, or even promoting the idea of art collecting, or this positive snobbish idea. But we would have to be like one force who is, you know, pushing those things. In politics, yeah.
The art scene in Poland is kind of utopia, because how can art market, which doesn't exist, influence the art scene? I think, you know, it doesn't have any raison d'être. It's like, so I think we have the opposite situation, as you told. We have to influence art market and somehow to encourage it to create it. Yes, and I think we still have a very basic work to do, and this work to do is the education, and we have to start from the kindergarten. If we really have to start very, very early to educate kids. And then, of course, continue this education. And probably, if we do that in one generation, in 20 years or in 40 years, we would be not forced to explain very basic problems to the adult and theoretically well-educated people. So from my point of view, this is the most important thing to us to do for the art scene, or people which are working with art, with education. I even think, because I have a kid, so I was thinking many times about it, and I think, you know, for example, art workshops, they should be for free, as well as the tickets for the institutions, art museums for kids. They should be for free. This is the big gap in the education, kind of the fault, which might be recovered by our state. And I think if we work on it, probably in some 20 or 40 years, we would have sensible citizens. But probably our state is not interested to be to have sensible and conscious citizens. So it's still about politics. That's better to have, you know. Okay, probably I would go too far, but yes. Coming back to you know, this idea of Warsaw Gallery Weekend and working with people from this point. From this position, I think we are doing in Warsaw Gallery Weekend, I think since 2010, and we are doing it by a group. We started with a very small group of the galleries. Now we are 20 galleries, and I think it's kind of educational work, because we are not thinking, when we are doing Warsaw Gallery Weekend, we are not thinking about, you know, commercial side of this weekend, of this festival. Maybe it's not a good word. We are thinking about, presenting ourselves, to go to the people, to educate them, to talk to them, to communicate. This is the most important task, to communicate. And the commercial side of this Warsaw Gallery Weekend is it's very, very far. I don't think the gallery is participating in it. They really think about selling at that time, but probably I'm not right.
Yeah, to continue our discussion, I really want to say that the role of art market in development of the art scene is really very big. It's from my experience since many years of these different projects, what we have done. I think the one is we don't have the good art market scene, and this is the problem when we want to have good art projects or good artists in our international events. So just one example for upcoming in this autumn, for upcoming in our next contemporary art festival, Kownacki Art, we want to invite 2 video artists from Taiwan. And of course, the first question was from the gallery director: what is the art market here? Anyway, it's important, of course, because maybe somebody, do you have collectors? These artists are very famous. They are presented in Art Basel and some other fairs. Who will watch to them if will nobody buy? But anyway, there will be some who will watch to them. It's also a very important question. So it means how it looks your art market and art scene, and it helps really a lot. Last year in the Berlin, we sold a video work for one collector from Düsseldorf. And what is the influence for the artist is really, the good video artist, she maybe 20 years, is working for the video works, and she had a lot of awards, but she never sold the work. So you could imagine, but the famous collector is buying this work. What was the next step, what I want to say? Modern art center, what we have, will be built in Vilnius. After this, they bought also the work of this Lithuanian artist. So it's big influence or not? It's big. If art market works, it's maybe very, very small, examples, but, from many of these small examples, we have the huge scene. I want just a bit to reflect to few sentences. Do we need any way to try to go out and more present our artists and our art? It's just not only by this that we depend on the West. No, I want to say it's not this reason. It's just, they really will not come to look for us or to find something. Because, the concurrence and the art scene in the world is really big. Still, I'm really very interested on that. I can just tell what's happened, for example, with the China, what just 2 past years, they were on the top, everywhere. And the Chinese artists and the China art and the collectors and in the market, in the projects. Now it stops because now it's what on the topic? It's Iran, Iraq, Palestine, and so, and just the last, I just want to tell about the same London, really. I saw, few galleries from Palestine, Iran. For me, I really looking with some distance to this art, But we need to know that anyway, ourselves we can say we don't like it or we see it's too low, but there are some international rules. Anyway, we are also some like players in the art world. And like yesterday starts the football cup, they are playing also with some rules. So if we want, to be in the art scene, we need to follow these art rules, and we need to know that maybe we're still not these countries, and we're still not able to do some diktat for. So just not. It's still we need, to find for us the right way and the right step, and then maybe we will be really back all them to show that and to say for them, look what you lost in the last 25 years. Just came to the most of Krakow or so, and it's. It's only one. And one another thing is, I think I don't know how it's in Poland, what really doesn't work here in Lithuania, about the medias. Yes, we have also new Range Rovers, new BMW and so on, and they don't buy in art. And we try to talk with them because we know some of these people, sometimes they are supported some projects or not. I think there is some mentality of the level of these people who really are able to collect and to buy. And we are lucky, during this maybe 20 years, we just grow up maybe 3 collectors. But it's really I can say for us it's high top, to look to the Lithuania. But why is it difficult to grow up them? Because there is not enough information. What I am talking to him and giving examples like Leonardo DiCaprio is buying works or some other. And when was the crisis? Look, the houses, they lost the prices, but art not. But he don't believe me. He needs, from someone, who is close to me, from media, but not from the art media, but from other medias, from TV, that this kind of examples, this kind of articles, and then he start to think, maybe it's really, I need to buy this, and it's good investment.
It's serious.
Yeah, it's serious.
It's serious. It's really value, right?
Yeah, it's really value. So it's the problem, really. We're really not able to do without help, and maybe without help with politicians and so on. And just shortly one example. In February, we had the nice project with Toro Contemporary Sunshine. We presented the huge collection of Toro, and also Natalia was nice works. And the new mayor of Kaunas, he was on the opening. It was nice. Finally, we can invite him because there was the mayor of Toro, so maybe in this case. But I want to say, he saw that Italian ambassador came to the opening, and he asked me, why the Italian ambassador came here? It's the collection from Poland. And I stood for him. But in this collection, they are the work of the famous Italian artist. And for him it was like, like some new discovery. What? So what we need, and maybe just by this, we can grow up some more, not only politicians, but some that look, the art is not, just some, it's really, the good thing.